How's it going, everybody? It's Meister Patrick here, and I'm back with more Sunset Overdrive. While I planned on doing updates to the series as I went, I didn't realize that I was actually going to complete the entire game before doing another video. So my character is already much later into the game. You see I'm 26 hours late into the game here, and pretty much everything's different. I don't think I have anything in common from the last time you saw me here, except maybe my Epic Amp, although I think even that's different. So I could do a tour of what I ended up doing, but this is the post-game sort of situation. So this is, I believe, DLC originally, but since I have the PC port, I think they just included all the DLC. So I thought I'd show this off, just so you can kind of see what the game looks like when it's over. So actually, this is a good way of showing off some of the weapons I have. I have these helicopters that shoot pistols at enemies. I have these pulse mines that do damage on the ground. I have this lock-on rocket launcher that will lock on to an enemy and then fire 6 shots and home in on that enemy I locked onto. I have this fully automatic rocket or fireworks shooter. I have this shocker, which is like a stream of electricity. I have this charge beam, which is a much stronger beam. You see it kills things pretty quickly. I have this rocket launcher. Shoots out a rocket. It's pretty straightforward. Pulse mine, turret, and then yeah, the shield buddy, which makes a shield for me, so I can't take any damage for a temporary. So with that, let's get right in it. Oh, and the costume I'm wearing now. So the first half I wore a costume made by Milsa. This time I'm wearing a costume that I made, and this was kind of my primary costume for the game. I actually switched my costume all over the place. I have 9 presets worth of costumes now, which are the max number. There's only 9. So I switched them out throughout, but this one I always like considered my main character or whatever. Let's see.
Hey, Troop Master Brillcream is missing. Have you seen him?
No. Have you looked down?
Oh wow, that's the first time I've done that before. So I have a ton of new traversal mechanic styles.
I found Brillcream's leg. Oh,
We're making a continuous joke about Brillcream doesn't have any arms or legs, so that's the joke that they keep making here.
found another piece of it.
Destroy the I have to destroy the device on the front of the truck. I'm not quite sure I'm gonna do that unless I'm supposed to get in front of it. Oh, I already destroyed it. Will that answer that question?
Closer. There's another signal close by.
See, that guy's a lot of help because these guys will die pretty much instantly from my charge beam. Where are we going? Let's go. So yeah, there's a lot more ways to get around this than I think I initially realized. Although you'll see me mainly using bounces and grinds like I did before. It's just because most things can be bounced or grinded on. But there's definitely like here, you'll see in a second. Kind of just like most of my actions are whatever is available to me. So it's just like a matter of figuring out what you want to do. It's very freestyle movement. So I'm never really sure what path I'm going to take until I take it. Oh, shoot. I actually haven't fought one of these guys since I got my new weapons. Let's see how this works. Follow the winger. I can do that. Oh, and the music in this game is kind of weird. All right.
Man, I wish I had some popcorn.
This is a really good way of showing off the traversal, actually. How it kind of looks like. What's involved? Am I just still following this guy? I'm just still following this guy. So you see, it's just a matter of like what's available to you, which makes it really interesting because you kind of have to keep looking out for what you're gonna do next. Oh, there you go. Is he swimming? Well, you get to see Master Brillcream for the first time. Nope. Oil pocket. Oh, new enemy. Ew. This environmental message thing?
Keep them away from me.
I think I can do that. Oh, shoot, or not. I might have totally lied about that.
Don't worry.
So yeah, all my weapons are pretty expensive. Are they? Where? Shoot, that was kind of close. I'll give you that. But it was only because you made me look around. Here, I'll show off. Wow! That was extreme. I think that was one of my Here, I'll show you how I fight these guys now. If I can. Ow. So basically, Herkers, my new way of fighting them is I fire a lot of these helicopters, which should have a freezing effect. There we go. As soon as he freezes, I start putting pulse mines around him. And you'll see, yep, it just drains through his health like nothing else. So that's kind of my main way of fighting Herkers.
Nice work. Fine combat skills. They'll come in useful on the rig.
Yeah, you see he doesn't have arms.
Rig?
Hey, there you go. Cool. Let's see what's next. This game does not have much story, I found out. And even the bits of story it does have usually aren't very well done. More about that crazy virtual system than anything else.
These OD are coming from an offshore oil rig owned by Mo Oil. My sister could be out there, and she could be in trouble. We'll have to fly out and investigate.
I don't know, man. Last time I flew, it didn't work out so well.
Don't worry. Have a plan.
Oh. Oh my goodness. They're having too much fun with this. Wow.
Wow! Do I have to call you Brilkermus Prime now?
Let's go. We don't have much time.
Hey, the joke's kind of fall flat most time, but sometimes they're good. I feel like both times I've tried to shut this game off, I've had to do a flying mission. Oh boy. Gosh, dang it.
My sister works for Mo Oil. I hope she's not in trouble.
Oh, the boost is new though.
There's the rig.
Probably skip through all that. It was pretty boring. The
Looks like we're late to the party.
the glider bits aren't very good.
Survivalists, don't slow down.
Oh wow! That's a big boy. Is it gonna destroy my plane? Nope, I missed.
Why is it always...
Sorry. It's like I feel like I don't know if I should support the terrible jokes this game has. Oh! Well, that was unfortunate. Sure, it'd be terrible if I did. What? Did I do it? Hey! Well, that worked.
Real cream?
Ah,
Where
traversal.
are you?
Not sure. I'm trying to get my bearings.
Oh,
Heading
shoot.
toward the ring. I'll meet you there.
Press X to dive, then X to chain to water dash. Cool. I feel like they're not working with me here.
Hey, sea monster! What do you have against floating debris?
It's a good question.
I'm on the other rig, dealing with some armed resistance. Find the foreman's office. There should be an incident log there that will help us track down my sister.
I feel like we should at least mention the giant Cthulhu OD that's bound to be a boss fight at some point.
Hey,
Don't
Cthulhu.
worry about that now. Let's just find my sister and get out of here.
Maybe that was your sister. Kidding.
I mean, yeah. Could have easily been a sister. I don't like all these pots. OD plus oil plus ocean. Oh, this doesn't look good. We just have like watery OD now. That's cool.
Better clear the area before looking for the foreman.
So yeah, step 1, helicopters. Oh, step 2, pulse mines. Step 3, propane launcher. Makes for a really good one-target attacking weapon. And then otherwise, I use a lot of the homing rocket because I don't know where enemy are gonna be, like that.
Now where's the foreman's office?
Works pretty well. Oh, okay. There's another successful mission. Cool. I have like side missions and stuff now. This is just going. Let's give this side mission a try. Hold up. Before I went too far and ruined everything, I want to try showing off the supposedly hardest traversal challenge in this game. This one gives you the most reward for getting a gold, so I assume that's because they considered it the hardest. So this is how well, whatever. I'll just show it off. So I think I don't remember. This one might have taken me a bit of time, but it's not too bad. It is pretty interesting though to see like what this game can look like as far as like the routes you can take. So I thought I wanted to show it off because I think it does a good job of showing off like what the traversal can look like if it's done right, like that. So yeah, that was very fast, but it showed off almost all of the techniques available in this game. The only other ones are the water slide, which are pretty cool, and then the vault, which there's something I can vault on. Vaulting's the hardest thing to find a consistent use for, but it's this move, and you almost never get to use it, just because it's hardly ever practical. But the way this game works is you have these overdrives, and in order to upgrade an overdrive, you see you have to, or some of these overdrives require the vaulting tokens. Vaulting tokens are the hardest tokens to get. So I constantly like make a strong attempt to do them, but oh, interesting. Yeah, sure, let's do that. 25. Yeah, I probably should replace it with this one, but whatever, we'll see how that works. So yeah, I have to make a conscious effort to do that one because otherwise you never do it. It's just not practical. Anyway, the other thing I want to show off was one of the harder traversal challenges that I don't know if there's another way that you were supposed to do it. It kind of shows off the like what free sort of style movement looks like. It's trying to get up here. There we go. Trying to get on top of that thing. The only way I figured out how to do it is if I jumped off here, then I did a super bounce off of this thing, went over here. You can kind of constantly make your progress upwards if you're careful about it. Doing this. There we go, I did it. There we go, and that's how you get up here. There's these binoculars.
Sessions at the concert hall. $15 for a plastic cup of wine. Feeling cultured? Priceless.
So yeah, and that's the only way I know of getting up here. If there's some easier way, I don't know what it is, but that was probably the hardest traversal challenge I've had to do in this game, just because it required me to figure out how to do the wall running technique pretty well. Let's jump back over there. I want to show off one of these challenges in the new place, I guess, because there aren't very many of these water traversal challenges, and so this is kind of a way to show off what the water gliding looks like. It's sort of an interesting mechanic because it's a lot of fun to use, but you never really have a chance to use it just because nothing requires water gliding like this. The water gliding is usually, there wasn't really a way to get between water gliding spots very well because you can't like double water glide or anything. So usually you just had to use it like once. Was that enough? Yeah, that was enough. But yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting stuff. That's why I thought I'd show it off. Like trying to get back this way is gonna be annoying. So see, usually you have to find a way to. Oh. So look, so I can't double water glide. So unless I find something between that water glide and my next one, like that, then there's nothing really I can do. See, it's kind of. There we go. Yeah, the water slide works pretty well in places that don't require you to go very far, or that have a lot of stuff in between. But otherwise, they can be kind of annoying. Yeah, there's a lot. I think I wrote down at one point all the different traversal mechanics options. Here I have a list. You can top grind, under grind, short bounce, tall bounce, pole swing, vault, wall run, air dash, and water glide. And there's also the I don't know what to call that. The glide jump. There's the the dive jump. There's every time you go around the side of a wall like this, you have to push the button to do a flip, otherwise you'll just run straight off like that. So it's like there's the wall turn. So yeah, there's underglide like this, there's overglide like this, there's the regular bounce like this, or the super bounce like this, which will maintain your height and give you a little extra height. There's pole vaulting like this, there's regular vaulting like that. There's like I said, there's the dive jump, which gives you some extra height. There's the water glide, which I was showing off. There's pole vaulting. There's wall running, which also has a sprint on it. There's just like a lot of different movement options. You know, as long as there's something to move you around on, there's ways to get places. That's kind of the genius of this game, is how much things they manage to stuff in that you can, you know, maneuver with when you get good at it. Oh, there's also the roll on the ground into the jump to like vault out of your mistake, whatever, or if you just have to hit the ground at some point. Because if you just do a regular jump, it's like that. But if you do a pole vault, you kind of do an outer jump. Well, I kind of lost it from that. But if I fall, oh, then there's the air dash. I forgot about the air dash. Just so much you can do to move. So yeah, kind of like, I guess I'm just mentioning that to say keep it all in mind as you see me move around, because you'll see me sort of use everything that I can find. If there's an advantage, I'll make sure to take it.
Is there anything I can help you with?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
Herbert, who is that?
Just a friend, Mother.
You stay away from strange adults. They probably have germs.
Your mother's right. I am an adult and I do have germs, but I am not the strange one in this scenario.
I just want to do something fun. Hey, I can make you a weapon if you get me some parts. What do you say?
I like the way that sounds. Feel the burn. Let's do it.
So Herbert, your mother, explain.
I was working out here for a few weeks, and one day I sent Mom an email telling her I was a little lonely. That's it. I said a little...
You gotta find something to hook onto this thing.
Something to hook onto that.
Mothers know best.
Mothers think they know best.
Maybe I can use a crane.
Oh. I like the sound of that. Hello, what are these UFO things? Those are new to me.
Crane would work.
I'll bet the crane would work as well. I'm gonna get this UFO though. Oh, it's gonna be 40 of them, huh? I see how it is. Alright, I have to make my way up. One thing that they managed to do pretty well as well is, oh, here we go. Oh. Goodbye. You can lock up to 6 targets because there's up to 6 different shots. And then, depending on the number of targets, is the number of shots. Oh, I also have a lightning sword, so there's that. Excalimunde, or something like that. I just feel like there's a lot going on. The tech is just cool. The powers are all pretty great. The weapons aren't, I don't know, they're not the best, I guess. How do I use this? There's cranes. What else could you want? Good enough. Find a way to break the cage open. Hint, explosives. Hint. Well. Oh, not over there. Where am I? Wait, where are these explosives? Oh, there they are. Kind of missed. Good enough.
Now I gotta get down there and pick up that part.
Oh, death. Hi. Don't mind me.
Okay, Herbert, I got a weapon part.
Great. Just a couple more parts, and we got ourselves a weapon.
Herbert, don't encourage dangerous behavior. Someone will get hurt, and they'll blame you. And then you'll get sued for damage.
Looks like it's up in that crate. There's gotta be a way.
Mom, you worry too much.
It's a mother's job to worry.
No, it's not. God, Mom.
Looks like it's up in that crate.
Do what, dear?
Whenever you know you're being annoying, you always always say, it's my job as a mother to blah.
Looks like it's up in that crate. Okay, got another one.
I don't mean to cut them off like this. It's just kind of happening.
Are you having fun?
Kinda.
Just one more piece, and I can make you something really cool.
Whew.
Mom, we need to have a talk. I think it's time you head back home.
But I am home, dear.
No! This isn't home. This is a tiny closet on an oil rig that's barely big enough for one person. And being stuck here with you is making me crazy.
You're not crazy, Herbert. You are perfectly sane. Don't insult yourself. It's unattractive.
Okay, got the last piece.
Good job. Come on back, dear.
Well, that is a interesting relationship going on there.
It's my job to tell him stuff.
I'm just trying to be helpful, dear.
No, you're right, Mother. My fault.
I forgive you, dear.
I love you, Mother.
And I love you, Herbert. Forever and ever.
Yuck. After this quest, I'm gonna need a shower and a memory wipe.
Here's your weapon.
Oh.
I hope you like it, dear.
Oh.
You know the saddest part about that whole thing is that most people under 30 won't understand the reference.
I'm under 30 and I didn't understand the reference. Although I did actually figure out that Herbert and his mother were the same person. Although I guess I should have made the claim. But whatever. It's I don't think it was terribly important. Last thing I want to try is this, and then maybe I'll show one more main mission. Who knows? Yeah, I think I said in the last video, the collectibles in this game are normally, the collectibles in most games, should say, are something I normally would, like, say is good to have a lot of, because they're just kind of busy work normally, but in a game like this, it's kind of fun. Oh, wow.
Toss explosive barrels where they swarm. Then gather the fish and get reward. Makey fishy go boom.
I like it. Let's see how this goes. There's also a bunch of like kind of unique challenges like these, which can be interesting to do. It's like stuff you wouldn't expect, but just, I don't know, that sort of diversity can be fun. I don't know if I can like really explain. This game just feels like kind of general fun without any sort of rhyme or reason to it. Which is kind of a different experience from a lot of other games. Like normally I could quantify like oh, that game was fun because of, you know, whatever, this. I mean, this I guess I know I have fun with it. It's a lot for the traversal, but for, you know, some of it's just like, oh, it's just fun. I don't know. Also, this whole diving mechanic's new. That's like a lot of fun. Hopefully I collected enough fish. I didn't actually check how much I needed. Hey, and it was enough. Cool. That showed that off. Alright, I want to show off another main mission, and then I want to show off kind of the last thing about this game that was really memorable and noticeable to me, which was the character customization, which is a lot of fun. So I'll show that off as well. So yeah, hopefully you can see that, like, that whole thing I did was crazy. Also, the green thing behind me is just health.
I'm looking for Gwyneth Brill Cream.
It's kind of overpowered.
Executive. Wait, are you from management? I didn't put her on that boat. It was them union roughnecks.
I'm not from management. Never will be. Where's this boat she's on?
I can show you, but I ain't coming out of here until it's safe. Safety first. You tell management I said that. There's eggs or some gunking up the rig. Clear them up and I'll help you find that executive lady.
Sounds doable. Alright, let's clear the junk. This is probably a good time to show off my weapons. I was kind of putting it off because I want to show some content first. But, so I have this weapon, is the multi-locker launcher. It locks on to 8 targets, so that was only 6. Then I also have the Burn Baby, level 2. It's one of the only level 2 things I have, and it just lights people on fire. Roman Candle is the nuke, which I think you already saw. The Shocker, which I have, recovers fired rounds, which I believe makes it so that it lasts longer. I'm not quite sure though. The charge beam, I feared the Reaper, which I've never actually seen. I just kind of randomly put it on there because I don't know what else to put. The propane launcher, I put turns them into a TNT if you kill them, which I thought was funny because the TNT is kind of the original rocket launcher you get in this game. Well, first I'll show the turret copter has a chance of freezing on hit, and so that'll stop enemies in their place. And then I use the pulse mine, which has a chance of spawning rockets on hit, so it's just like more damage in a small amount of area. The shield buddy, I have XP up because you almost never hit people with this. It's more defensive, so that's to compensate. Then for this, I have the undefibrillator melee swing, which is the giant lightning you saw. The die bomb, I have a glass shrapnel, which shoots damaging attack in all directions, versus the seismic smash, which just shoots it forward, which is what I used to have. I kind of like this one though. This one I have the magnet. I don't know if it's actually helpful, but just in case it is, I have it on. But it lets you collect loot from further away, which probably isn't useful because you really don't get very much loot from collecting from the environment, but whatever. Then I have the hero, I have the spread the love, which just constantly generates your health, and this is the most OP item in the entire game. It's definitely worth a lot. I would probably recommend doing the spread the love with personal space. I think are the two best. The only reason I do magnet is because I'm paranoid about it. And then as far as epic amps go, you can go with the Fire, or you can go with the grind the lightning. Grind the lightning does more horizontal damage, whereas this one will fall downwards. So if you're grinding above enemies, it does more damage, whereas this one, if you're grinding alongside them. So it's like if you're doing like this, then the grind the lightning would be better. But if you're doing like something like this, then you're better off with the fire. So that's what. So I ended up deciding to the fire. How do I? But yeah. So I thought that was a good opportunity to explain that. Oh, and that's the nuke. Oh, and then the last thing that's probably worth explaining is my overdrives. I just have increased ammo capacity for every weapon type, and I've also increased style. So increased style generation, and then decrease the style required for level 2, and decrease style required for level 3. So for me, this was just simple. I mean, there's a lot of different options here. I've honestly not even looked at all of them. I was just like, okay, max ammo and max style, and that seemed like the easiest way to go. Like this one, right? Health regeneration by 0.2% or total increased health. You don't need those because this freaking hero amp is so overpowered. It's ridiculous, especially when you have the style increase. You can get up to that style really easily. I'm gonna replace with this. Let me see. So look at that, and you see this new weapon. Oh, it's a flamethrower. I like it. Let's give it a try. I bring destruction. Very close range. But it is a flamethrower. Has a chance to burn enemies. That's a flamethrower, right? I would hope it would burn enemies. That doesn't sound like a terribly good job, but it could be. Could be. I mean, I don't know. I don't have anything against the petroleum industry. I have a car, you know. I have a toothbrush. I use plastic.
You got another one.
I'm one of those. Who needs the environment when you can have convenience? Am I right? Up top. Okay. Like this song, for example, says first world problems. It really says something like first world problems are important, I need my phone, or something like that. It's a pretty great song. It can be, yeah, this weapon's pretty great just because, I mean, there's stuff like this where it's probably more convenient to just shoot things directly than to try to use the lock-on ability, but most of the time I find the lock-on pretty useful, which is why I like it so much. Oh, there's that thing I was looking for. That's just, that works. Might as well be skipping around this bit. Oh, don't hit me. Ah, shoot, he hit me. I kind of like this environment. I mean, it makes sense. The environment's kind of gotten progressively more traversal friendly as the game goes on. So the very first area, you're kind of expected to just use the grind and bounce, and then just whatever. Each area kind of progressively has its own ways of allowing for more and more traversal freedom. But the flipping, the vault, what's it called? Pole vault. Pole vault almost never gets used. Actually, the shocker is kind of my just like automatic weapon at this point. Yeah, see, that's way more effective. I don't know why I wasn't using that sooner.
All right, come back my office, then we'll head over to the navigation room.
Oh, hey, ammo. I could use some ammo, probably. No? Or not. So yeah, it's a big part of this is just kind of finding your way, whatever that way is. There's no right way to get through an environment. It's just like whatever the best way for you is. All right, hopefully this isn't a girl guy.
Light up one more cigarette, then we'll head over to the navigation room.
That seems like a really terrible idea. Cool.
So much for safety first.
Note to self. Don't light
Hey, Brokering, still out there?
cigarettes on an oil rig.
You find the foreman.
Yeah, but he died of stupidity. Just said we can find your sister's ship if we get to the navigation.
We'll go there together. Meet me down by the water.
Okay. Alright, it's Brokering. Let's do it.
The navigation room is at the top of that rig. But getting there won't be easy.
Of course. Never is. Wow, that's a lot of scavs. Oh my goodness. Do I have a scav killing weapon? I don't normally fight scavs. Oh, moil workers. Mo oil workers. Or moil?
I have a plan for getting
Mo
to the
oil?
navigation room.
Oh, yeah? What's the plan?
Over here.
What? Okay. This feels like a... That's cool.
Hey,
Ow.
plan.
I thought you'd like it.
This weapon's not terribly strong.
Defend yourself.
Actually, maybe it's working better than I expected. This feels terrible. I'm not sure I like that. The way that feels. I don't like their screams. This is a totally new weapon for me, so I didn't know what would happen. I regret it. Let's just keep moving.
You ain't getting no navigation. Bulletproof these. Good luck finding our ship. He's gone forever.
Oh, unfortunate. Ow.
They busted the navigation room. What now?
Perhaps Fort Kim's friend Sam can help.
Of course I can help. So, to summarize, Brill Cream's sister is lost at sea, and you need me to remotely sail her ship back to your location. It's a fairly simple operation, once I triangulate your current location.
Can't you just, like, detect the signal on Brill Cream's mech suit or something?
You just don't get triangulation, do you? No, I need you to set 3 fires that are big enough to see from space.
Really?
What?
Awesome.
Yeah, I guess I'm all for it. Ah. Oh, this is where you sit down these straps, and then no one can. Hey.
I'm not a scab.
Yeah, aren't you guys? You guys are more scab than I am. Kind of a scab, I guess. It's one of those like everyone knows the game Borderlands. Borderlands 2 specifically. Handsome Jack kind of calls you the villain because you kind of murder people randomly. Can't argue that point. Oh, this thing's actually a bad event against people. I don't know why I tried using that. That was my own fault. Gotta keep that area protected. Yeah, the best way of protecting these flag points is just to set up a lot of these kill machines. I'll make sure no one gets close. Perfect.
Now just gotta light this stuff.
Oh, I can light stuff. That's for sure. Is he gonna throw me at it? I feel like throwing me at it's the worst way for me to light it. But, who am I to complain? Yeah, he's just gonna throw me at it. Ah, I guess I am technically on fire.
Nice. Okay, I applaud grabbing the coordinate of that fire and... There. Okay. Now just get me 2 more and I'll send that ship your way.
Actually, we should only have to do 1 more with triangulation. But, well, it's from space, I guess, like you said. So, but why would that? Nah, I don't know. I don't really quite get how this works. It's okay. Maybe I don't have to. Perfect. Beautiful. It's just beautiful. I'm not sure I like the flamethrower though. What am I doing? Oh. Turkcopters and these things first though. Deployables in this game can be a lot of fun. Ow, ow, ow. You just have to keep them up. If you let them lapse, then the enemy can get in. And then you have to subsequent it with your own weaponry when you have the time. These defend the point missions were kind of introduced at the end of the game, so I've only done like one of them or something. But this method seemed to work before. Of course, this flamethrower is pretty good at keeping people away. Yeah, I highly recommend using the pulse knife. I have no health. It's because I didn't build up any style. There we go. Now I'm healing just fine.
Well done. Get to my location, quickly.
Can do. I think those things were supposed to hit me, but I went slightly to the right.
I bet you could see that one from like Cygnus X.
Was that an attempt at astrology humor?
That's a good question.
Potato, potato.
Just start 1 more fire and I'll be able to triangulate your exact position.
So actually specifically purchase that weapon to kill these guys. So I want to see how it compares to this weapon. See, for some reason other weapons seem to purposely avoid those guys. I don't know what the deal is with them. So yeah, I actually, the whole reason I got this charge beam was to fight these things, because every other weapon likes to avoid hitting them. I don't know why. I think because the homing doesn't really know how to work. I want all that stuff though. Yeah. All right, make our way to the 3rd one here. Ah, come on. Yeah. Perfect.
Great work. Come to me.
Yeah, I'm like using no style options. I think it's just because my weapons are all really late game weapons. They're kind of perhaps stronger than they should be. I think a lot of people, so like I kind of said, all my weapons are different from the beginning of the game. That's not necessarily common. I've seen some other people, like, they're playing with the original weapons you get.
I've got your position input here and now I'm contacting the ship.
And like never purchasing another weapon in this game is a completely viable way of playing, honestly. It's very, like, I just bought the newer weapons because they look cooler, and they are. I think they probably are better, but they cost a lot. So you kind of have to pick your battles.
Looks like
The last thing I want to show off in this game was the customization options. So as you could probably tell, the customization in this game is out of this world. You can pick, so these are all the weapons I don't use, the ones that don't say equipped, I'm not using. And you can have all these weapons, and then each of these weapons can have amps. These are all the amp possibilities that I have. I have every amp. I just don't have any upgraded amps. I have all the level 1 amps, though. So these are all the amps. These are not all the weapons. There's more weapons that I haven't gotten. I'm going to go ahead and get all that. There's all these weapons. Like this weapon. I haven't even seen this weapon. Let's see what this does. Oh. Normally they have a little voice, but I don't think any of the DLC weapons have a voice along with them. Interesting. So it's like an electricity. That looks cool. See, I'd be willing to get that. It's 100,000. Oh my goodness. That's the same amount as the charge beam was. So it's probably a good weapon. That's how you can tell it's probably a good weapon. But, so I didn't show. There's all these weapons. More than what I have. Then, yeah, there's these amps. So there's new amps here, and then these are all the level 2s of the amps I already have. And there's all these amps, and all these amps, and all these amps. And then in addition to all that, and then whatever, you can also, even just, you can customize the way that you move. You can, as I said, I didn't even show the overdrives and the traps. There's all these trap options you could use for when you defend stuff. Or there's all these overdrive options if you want to, whatever. What does this one do? Health decrease by 0.4% and total HP per second, but increases damage done by 5%. And that's just the first level. So you see I have like level 3. That's why it's 5%. This was originally increased style generation by 1%. And then it goes all the way up to level 4 is the last level. You can see this one I already have level 4. Although I use these, so like increases, by 100%. So you can imagine all this stuff does like crazy stuff like that. And I haven't even looked at all of it. I don't know what any of it does. I knew like from the very beginning what I wanted out of the game. Like this one, decreased damage taken per style level by 1%. I imagine this would go all the way up to 10% per style level. So you'd be decreasing your damage taken by 40 or 50%. I don't know how many style levels there are. I don't really remember how the game counts that. But yeah, it's pretty crazy the amount of customization. And then yeah, you can just customize your route even. I mean, I know that kind of sounds silly, but just like the way you decide to go through the place can be, its own kind of customization in a way. It's however you like to, move, whatever. It's whatever your preferred way of movement is. You can, take that route. If you prefer undergrinding because you can jump out of it, you can do that. Or if you prefer, bouncing, there's tons of bouncing things. For wall running, there's, you can run on any wall. Well, you couldn't run on that. You can even just like run on this, like if I spawned out of here and wanted to get over there, I could easily just run along this wall to get a little boost, air dash over here. There's so much customization, and I mean, whatever, that hardly counts. But then the clothing customizations, I know I have over 250. I got that like 75% of the way through the game. You can see, hold up. You can see just in like the top options here, there's all of these. These aren't even, okay, those are all the ones in the shop. I even have some tops that weren't in the shop, although you'll see a lot of this is, anything that's owned is a repeat, but all of these are the ones I own, and all of them have 4 different colors with them, and then that's just, that's in under head. There's all these different things you can change. Under tops, all these things, and bottoms, and then you can change your melee weapon. I have a bunch of different melee weapons. And I've pre-saved, these are all the pre-saved Insomniac sets. I should probably just show these from the front. But you can buy more of these. These come with all the stuff in them. You can interchange everything within these sets. So you could like start with the set and then change it all up if you wanted to. And so customization in this game is just through the roof. It's incredible. So with that, last thing I want to show off was these 9 player sets that I made. Actually, I only made 7. The last 2 were made by Melissa, and you recognize number 9 is the one I used from the first video, and set 1 is the one I'm currently using. So I'm just gonna real quick show all these off to kind of show what you can make your characters look like. So set 1, here's set 2. You can kind of see, it's an interesting looking character. Here's my set 3. And I actually used to have it look a little different, but I haven't really used this one very much recently. I haven't used it since I made the couple changes around the head. I didn't used to have that headpiece or the mouthpiece. But alternatively, I used to have it with this body style, but with the new headpiece, I think it looks cooler. Looks more menacing with the larger body type. Then I have this set, which is kind of like a psycho murder looking thing. This one's the superhero set, I guess I could call it. Psycho murder set. And I have this, which is like a high fantasy looking set. Then I have this, which is my big boy set, which got his black and white looking colors, even his weapon. It's pretty sweet. Then this is the last set I created. It's kind of a normaler looking dude. It's kind of like the me set. I don't know, it's like how I'd be willing to dress in the apocalypse, maybe. And this one actually I have a different melee for, but it's kind of blinding, so I don't normally show it off like this. But so you can see what this looks like.
Probably the same lines though. Lazy writers.
There's a laser beam. Pretty cool looking. Then there's of course this set, which you saw, which was what I used at the beginning. This is the one made by Melmouse. And then this is the last set, which was made by Melmouse as well, which I haven't used too much, but this is her female one, whatever. So yeah, those are all the customization sets that I used mainly. And I used them all a lot. They were a lot of fun to just mess around with, even being this big boy. is he's you know, he's my big boy. You know, it's although this has the most distorted voice out of any of them. I don't know why. I assume it's because they only have 2 voice actors, the male voice actor and female voice actor. I think they just put a distortion on the bigger body. So this guy has a really distorted voice. Not here, he just sounds weird. But in the cutscenes, he's like, roar, roar, roar. I think maybe I'll end this off by starting a cutscene just to see if I can see him talk. So let's see how that looks. Okay, so I picked a random mission. I hope I'm talking at the beginning of it. Hopefully you'll hear what he sounds like. Oh, and this is Brillcream. You find him in a garbage truck that he was in for a week, and
Those creatures are coming this way.
he had no way of,
How long were you trapped in there?
yeah, there you go.
16 days, 20 hours, and 8 minutes. It's kind of amazing that you're still alive. I'm a survivalist. Do what it takes.
Yeah, so that's how you find out about,
How did you find me? It's kind of my thing. When people are in trouble, I grind over with some guns and kill all the troubles away.
yeah, you could hear his voice kind of there. He I don't know, he just sounds kind of distorted to me. Doesn't seem like I'm gonna talk.
Run, troops! Run!
I like that you can pause this game at any time. That's probably one of the biggest things I like about it. Yeah, I don't know. This doesn't show it off well, and I don't want to hunt it down more. So, how do I abandon mission? There we go. Anyway, the important point I was trying to make is that even at the end of this game, it was a lot of fun to play through, and I will continue with all the DLC, you know, on my own time. The only way I imagine this game showing back up on this channel, from me at least, is maybe all things considered recap of, I don't know, what was good. Maybe something more concise than this stuff. You know, this is kind of, I was trying to show off the gameplay more. I might at some point try to just tell instead of show what was good in this game, or, you know, what was not so good. So, who knows? For now, this has been my sort of beginning and end of Sunset Overdrive, as it were. This is pretty much where I expect my character to be, unless something crazy happens in the DLC that I'm not sure about. This is my newest character that I created. That's why I'm dressed as this one right now, because there's a lot of the newer stuff. You get so much, there's just continual reason to keep changing and upgrading and customizing, and so it's a good game. And with that, I'll see you guys around. Zoink out. Good thing I can swim.